The Echoe's whisper exited its jump, tearing through space-time into a region as black as ink. I had emerged in a place the star maps called the Null Rift, but the Phantoms called it something else. The Gathering Place. Suddenly, there was movement. Lines of biomechanical warships loomed like colossal predators, some in swarm groups, others prowling like sleek hunters. There were thousands of them. Hive carriers, reapers, and nest ships that stretched for kilometers. This was a living armada, awaiting orders from their command ship, the Chorus. Cloaked, I wove the Echoe's whisper silently through the fleet. Every move was cautious, calculated. Any deviation in our cloak signature, any ripple in their code, and the entire swarm would descend upon us. One wrong move, and we would be torn apart. Stay tuned to see what happens next, and don't forget to subscribe. As I piloted the ship closer, strange signals began to ripple through space, like psychic waves distorting the very fabric of reality. A strange pressure started building in my head, a feeling I'd never experienced before. The closer I flew to the swarm, the stronger this pressure grew. There was no sound, no light. It was as if all distant, ambient light was being sucked into a void. Then I started hearing them. Thoughts. I believe they were alien thoughts, and it was a deeply disturbing feeling, having those hideous ideas and emotions inside my own head. A pulse suddenly scanned across my ship. Did they detect me? My ship's AI, Wraith, notified me of a chorus waveform, warning of a high cognitive intrusion risk. The system had detected the intrusion into my mind. The big question was, did they find me? Wraith determined they weren't searching for me. They were talking to each other. A billion voices, all at once, in one mind. A horrifying feeling. The larger Phantom ships were surrounded by smaller interceptors, drifting like metallic stingrays through the black. Suddenly, one of them shifted, its organic sensors flaring. It was an early warning system, alerting the entire swarm that something was close. My Wraith's cloak wasn't perfect. There were minor imperfections in the design. If I got too close, their biological senses would pick me up. They could detect the small ripples my ship made in space-time. I killed all power, even life support, letting the ship drift silently through the void. I was hoping the distortions in the cloak would settle, allowing me to pass through unnoticed. A smaller Phantom, a Guardian, brushed right past the hull of my ship, its organic eyes scanning for any threat. I held my breath, a useless, impulsive human reaction. They don't detect air, but the Wraith's intelligence confirmed they can sense fear. As the Guardian slid past, it moved on, rejoining the swarm. In the heart of the Phantom fleet, a blue-white neural lattice pulsed with a terrifying glow. The Wraith's sensors struggled to comprehend the structure forming before it. Then I saw it. This lattice, it was brilliant, beautiful, yet utterly horrifying. At its very center was the Chorus, the central point of a vast, hive-like nervous system. Floating above was a massive construct, half cathedral, half brain, a neuron the size of a moon, linking them together. Strands of energy connected every single ship, a neural network feeding the swarm. My scans confirmed the Wraith's darkest fear. This wasn't a ship. It was an organic mind, a living construct, a central consciousness, threading every Phantom into one being. As data flooded my systems, the instruments began to tremble, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the hive mind before me. So the eggheads were right. The nightmare was real. They programmed my ship, the Kai, with a disruption pulse, a weapon designed to sever the neural connection of the Chorus. As I prepped the device, it began to glow ominously. To blind the swarm, I had to get within 1,000 meters. If they sensed me before that, the mission was over. They'd swarm, and I'd be vaporized. Suddenly, alarms blared. The ship's AI warned. Chorus has begun a full-spectrum synchronization. Probability of detection is rising. The swarm could feel something was wrong. You could see the hive ships on the edges getting agitated, restless. My ship was on autopilot now, under Kai's control. It accelerated, plunging us deeper into the heart of the storm. Stay tuned to see what happens next, and don't forget to subscribe. As we got closer, I could see the central nervous strands getting thicker, and the chorus began to swell with light. The drums in the background intensified. Closing in, I was hit by a wave of emotions, but they weren't my own. I felt curiosity, anger, frustration, hunger, so many things at once. Even recognition. A psychic whisper echoed through my mind. It was overwhelming, disturbing, and exhilarating all at the same time. More scans came through as we drew nearer. Kai, my AI, suddenly grimaced. I never knew an artificial intelligence could even do that. A new alert popped up. Telepathic resource detected. They didn't say intruder, which is what I was expecting. They said resource. What did they mean by that? Were they going to absorb my consciousness? Eat me? Consume Kai? To them, I wasn't a threat. I was just biomass. Food for whatever twisted thing this was. Kai found the perfect spot to strike. With him piloting the ship, I was just along for the ride. He fired up the engines, and we rocketed straight toward the glowing neural core. The larger swarm ships started to notice us, turning in our direction as drones began to form up. Suddenly, as the engines roared, the cloak flickered. Kai's voice came over the comms. Cloak compromised. Enemy lock imminent. A moment later, enemy lock and inbound. I had one chance. If I missed, or if we were hit first, the mission was over. My mind raced with what-ifs as we sped towards the neural connections. Kai armed the pulse weapon, a low hum filling the cockpit. He scanned our approach. A half-second window, he said. We only get one shot. As we closed in, I mumbled, to save humanity. He fired. I held my breath, praying we'd made the right call. A blinding white light erupted, followed by a massive shockwave that caught us as we tried to escape. Without the central nervous system, without the strands linking the swarm phantoms together, they were just lost. That central coordination was gone, and the phantom ships started to drift, crash, and spiral completely out of control. The entire swarm just collapsed into chaos. Some ships even fired up their engines and blasted off into deep space, totally wild. It was like watching a perfect harmony shatter into pure noise and chaos. Then the explosion started, a chain reaction ripping across the fleet. It was beautiful, in a terrifying way. I just yelled, "We did it!" We had cut the head off the beast, and right before our eyes, it was dying. We had actually won. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic stories. See you next time. Phantom Static, where the phantoms speak through the static.